Meanwhile, voters in multiple states will get to decide whether to end what some call the slavery loophole. 5 states have amendments on the ballot this November that would cut out language that permits slavery and involuntary servitude as criminal punishments. Newsy national correspondent Stephanie Sandoval is following the story.
Well, working conditions would not change. Incarcerated workers are barely paid for the work they do, and in some states, not at all. The ballot initiatives would still allow prisoners to work, but the key part here is they wouldn't be forced to work. Voters in 5 states will vote on whether to eliminate language in their state constitutions that allow slavery and involuntary servitude as criminal punishment in prisons. It's an exception that's also written in the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. In Tennessee, a proposed amendment would strike out that language so it reads, "Slavery and involuntary servitude are forever prohibited." Lawmakers say it's about time the language is changed.
We definitely want to remove the word slavery from the state constitution. We don't want persons who are incarcerated to be considered to be slaves, right? We don't want any punishment for any crime to be likened unto slavery.
Alabama, Oregon, Vermont, and Louisiana are also tackling the issue this November. But in Louisiana, there's some pushback, including from its author. Some say the proposed language that states, quote, "does not apply to otherwise lawful administration of criminal justice," may make things worse and would still allow involuntary servitude in prisons. The Council for a Better Louisiana, a nonprofit organization in Baton Rouge, agrees.
How do you guys feel about this amendment?
We feel like the intent of the amendment is good. We think we need to clean up some of that language in our Constitution. The problem is we don't think it accomplishes what we all want it to accomplish. We think it actually muddies the waters instead of clarifying them. And for that reason, we kind of unfortunately feel like we need to oppose it and come back and try again in the future.
Still, the Abolish Slavery National Network, a national coalition fighting to abolish constitutional slavery and involuntary servitude, are urging voters to vote yes in every state.
Back in 1865, we abolished slavery. Slavery was supposed to be abolished for everyone. However, in order to keep African Americans working, they passed, vagrancy laws, black codes, pig laws, to keep the economic wheelhouse going. And that's what we're still doing today. And that's what we're trying to get people to understand.
Colorado became the first state to remove the language in 2018. The ballot initiatives are part of a national push to get rid of the exception clause in the 13th Amendment. However, none of the proposals would actually force any immediate changes in state prisons, which rely heavily on incarcerated workers.
And it is the state's responsibility to rehabilitate them and prepare them to get ready to come back into the community. And a lot of these jobs are being said to do that or be created to do that. But what's happening is there's jobs like making license plates. Where would anybody be able to do that in the community? So if the goal is rehabilitation and people are going to be working, give people an opportunity to not just earn wage, but to be able to rehabilitate and get ready to get back into society.
The ACLU says incarcerated workers in the U.S. produce about $2 billion a year in goods and commodities and more than $9 billion a year in services that maintain prisons, yet prisoners see very little of the money and in some cases, not at all.